Welcome to another edition of the Black Male Podcast. I am your host, AP, and today's show is going to be on money and everything that comes with it. When we think about money and how we want to get money and how money drives and attracts us to do different things and attracts us to other different people, we come to a realization that sometimes we have people that have a lot of money, some people that have a little bit of money, and some people that have no money. But the value of money and the value of the dollar has been set upon some people as a make or break or what will determine how successful you are in your life. See, when you put money as a value or a placeholder on how you should be and what you should do with yourself or where you should be in life, what that does is it will make you feel differently about yourself, because some people do things for money that they really should not be doing, but not just money, to do certain things, to get certain things, to be in a certain place. So the idea of having money and everything that comes with it, we just think about money as just something that we can attain and we can hold on to and something we would strive to get. But there's something else that comes along with that. That's your time, your effort, and your energy. And that's why that's the title of today's show, Money and Everything That Comes With It, because it's not just money, but it's your time, your effort, and your energy that comes to attain it, retrieve it, and also to maintain it. So let's jump into it. If the first time you're ever watching this show, what I like to do is I like to start with the basics. I like to give you the definition of something, but we're not going to do the definition today. Okay, everybody know what money is to them, right? Money means something differently to everybody. I'm gonna quote a rapper. So there's a rapper by the name of Rick Ross, right? And in one of his raps, he says, "Being dead broke is the root of all evil." And if you think about that, that is a major, major, major line. And the reason why that would hit home for a lot of people is because those who grew up in meager beginnings, or those who are striving to be more, to have more than what they have, so life can quote unquote be easier for them, then they will do anything to achieve that. But just because you get a lot of money doesn't mean that your life is going to change. What that means is you're just going to become more of who you already are. If you're someone that's not a good person, you're someone who's not good with money, when you get more money, what do you think is going to happen? The same thing's going to happen. You're going to blow money. You're not going to have anything. You're going to be borrowing. You're going to be doing everything. And it's not going to turn out well for you. But the idea is what I want to do with this money and how I'm going to achieve money is because in some places, in some cultures, in some households, you are either a good or a bad person, or you can achieve or attain certain things based on the money that you get by your job or what you do for a living, how much you get for that service that you're providing or you're going to do, and how well you are to keep it or manage that. Okay? Money is a major, major thing, like I said, that we have and we use for our lives. The rich use money to get more money, right? They use that money as a tool. The middle class, or what they call as the middle class, is those people who are living check to check. The poor folks are those who really don't have any money, or they're having a hard time attaining or even sustaining a certain lifestyle that they want. Some people with a lot just want to make sure that they can sustain what they have. And those who don't have a lot, they just want to get that because they feel like if I had a little bit more, if I did a little bit more, if I seem to see, if I have that thing for me, that I'm going to be in a better spot, in a better position, things going to be out better for me. But another rapper said it. When you got more money, you got more problems. And when you got more money, you have more people that will come to you for help. You have more people that will rely on you. And it's mainly because they feel and they believe that you have something that can help them out. Now, we all know somebody that has done well for themselves. Okay. And if that is you, this is going to be very telling. You're going to know exactly what I'm saying. But we all know someone that has done very well for themselves. And some people see that as a magnet. And that magnet will make people feel like that is their safety blanket. Like, I can go to you anytime I need something, even if you've done that in the past. That doesn't mean that you're always going to be there and do that for me or do that for that person. But a lot of people will think that, oh, you're doing well for yourself. You have this type of job. You live in this type of house. You have this type of money. You have that type of car. Is what I see. So I'm going to attract or attain, or I'm going to visualize and having what I see is in front of my face is that something that you have is something either I want or I know that you have something that's going to help me. But what is it going to stop me from getting to where I want to be and getting money? Because some people have things and other people don't know how they got it. Some people got it the old fashioned way. They earned it themselves. They went to school, and I ain't just talking about college, but you can be high school. I know people in high school who have a high school diploma and they make more money than people that have degrees. Let's put that into perspective. Some people are living really well with having what other people will consider is a basic education. You know why? Because they know and understand the value of money. Some people will see some things on social media and think that, oh, that person lives in this and this person has this and I know they got it. You don't know the stress or the hell that they live through to even get that or even try to attain it, or to maintain that type of lifestyle. Because when you get to a certain point and you live a certain way, it's a struggle every day and it's a fight. Every day you have to do something to maintain that. And a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people would think that because I don't have the money I need that I'm not this or I'm not that. What stops you from thinking that? Because just getting to your job or just getting to the money that you have, that is enough. Because you don't know where you would have been without that situation. And what is going to change that for you? Nothing but an opportunity to get more money. But with that, you're gonna spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of energy. With that, let's get to time. Time is something that no one can hold on to. Time comes, it goes. No one can turn back the hands of time. No one can control time but the Almighty. That's it. And the idea is like, oh, I'll get to it, and time passes you by. You realize that, I had a golden opportunity to do some things that I really wish I would have done in the past. All of us know people that have done very well. All of us know someone people who have not done well. And it comes down to how did they manage the opportunities, but even the money and the time that it took to get there. See, everybody is not going to get that same type of opportunity, but when you get your opportunity, you have to make the best of it. And that's being well with the time that you have and using that time realistically. And if you're not able to use that time realistically, it's going to hurt you in the end because you really don't know or you really don't have what it is you think you should have, right? Because the effort that's going to come from that is that how much am I going to put into getting out what I really want? Am I really going to get paid what I really feel I should get paid? Because everybody's doing a job they feel they ain't getting paid enough to do. And everybody feels that way. If you feel like you're getting paid the amount of money that you should be paid and you're satisfied with that, you're like in a 2% bracket because everybody that has a job feels like they should be paid more money for what it is that they're doing. I saw this post on Instagram the other day that says, why are these companies asking for a master's level degree education when they're only paying half of that for the job? Let's think about that. If that was the case and they're asking for that type of education and they're only going to pay you a certain amount, it's so that the company can have a return on their investment for all the money that's going out because they're going to be in the black. There's only a small percentage of the people in that company that's going to be making money. Everybody else, the money's going to come and go. It's like getting money in your hand and throwing it out the window or flushing it down a toilet because as soon as you see your money, it's gone. How many people see that they see their paycheck and they're waiting for that paycheck to come, and then as soon as it gets in their account, it's gone. And sometimes it's not something that they did. It's just a lifestyle that they have to try to maintain the life that they have. And it doesn't have to be extravagant. It's just a life to live. Now, there's a lot of people out there that have 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And that's a lot of time and a lot of effort and also a lot of energy that goes into that. Because if you're not putting those things into the effort or the energy, you're not going to have the time to even get any money. You're not going to have it. How do you get that? No one knows. But some people have mastered the idea of getting it, entertaining it. Now, those with a lot of money, they do something. They protect it. And what happens with that is they do everything, and their idea and value of money is very small. But it's always those that don't have a lot that have a greater amount, because it goes down to the opportunity. Now, some people can have all this money and they can get it in a certain way, because we know there's jobs out there where people do things to get things, and they may not be doing a certain particular job to do that. They may just be trying to finagle people and making people feel like they don't have money. You see, there's always something that you need to realize, that sometimes anybody who always says they have no money has money. And they probably see me as a mark, or they see me as someone that's going to take care of something if I in the past have done that. Okay. I know someone who's going through that right now, right? This person that I know has been helping out a friend a long time, right? And with helping out that friend, this friend just told that person that I know something very callous and very inappropriate, I should say, based on how they came. It was like a guilt trip to them, because they felt like, if I guilt you, you're going to continue to do that for me. Now, that comes from a person that's very giving, a person that's worked their tail off to get to where they are, but also that their value of money is completely different because of the time, effort, and energy it took to get there. Now, my friend that's helping out this person is used to people doing stuff for them, because she had someone in her past that was doing the same thing. She had someone. I call those people paymasters, right? It's a paymaster, someone you can call on, you can rely on. Do you need them to pay something? They're right there. Someone that's going to do everything for you, they're going to be right there. You can call them up and say that I need this, they're going to be right there. Until that person gets tired of doing that. Until that person sees the light at the end of the tunnel, as soon as that person pulls that rug from underneath the other person's feet and see that this ain't going nowhere, I'm only digging myself in a hole. Or if I ain't digging myself in a hole, why am I going to waste my time and effort and energy on somebody or something with something that I have done myself? People that do stuff like that, that make people that have money or want to give and they have a giving heart, not want to help people out because of that. And it's not just because of those type of people. It's also other type of people that's out there. Let's talk about people who live off of this thing called social media, right? Now, everybody got their social media. They follow certain people and they see all these people that's out there and they have everything. And I follow this person. Oh, this person doing good. They out there, they showing off everything. But a lot of that stuff is not even there. Some of that stuff is on consignment, and some of that stuff is even leased. And what I'm doing is I'm putting out this portrayal that I have something that I really don't. There was a TV show a long time ago called MTV Cribs. Some of y'all may know that. Some of y'all may not. But I'm going to tell you, MTV had a show where they would, quote unquote, go into the homes of the rich and famous people. It could be any type of celebrity. It could be an athlete, an actor, an actress, a singer, anyone they see. And they will have this lavish lifestyle that people be like, oohs and ahs, right? Long time ago, there was also a show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Now, there's only 1% of the people that are actually living like that. And those people that are living like that, they definitely not going to show you on TV. There's only one person I knew for sure that did that. It was a football player. And you know, the funny thing is he said, I put my initials on my doorstep in tile. That way you know this is my real house. And I said, now when I remember and I think about that, that is very, very funny. Because people can have things and people can say things and I can make it seem like I have something and I don't have anything, right? Those folks live check to check too. Those folks are trying to get it just like everybody else is. They're just doing this in a different type of way. Now they may have more struggles and more hardships in getting theirs and maintaining theirs than you do, because they are on a certain plateau. You have to be careful with those plateaus when it comes to taking and getting money, because you might not be able to maintain it because that opportunity may run away. The idea is you have to make the best of every every opportunity that you have. And sometimes you have an opportunity to get more money, and sometimes you have to have blind faith to do that, because you might not be making the money that you want to make right now, but down the road you may get to it. And when you get to it, then you feel like, I made it. And that will do something within yourself. That will make yourself feel better about yourself because, quote unquote, you got it out the mud. A lot of people know that Country Wayne said that I got that out the mud, or some other people say I got it out the mud. But the funny thing is that you can tell it took time, effort, and energy to get there. It wasn't just an overnight success. There's no such thing as overnight success, because if there was a such thing, all of us would be in that 1%, and we wouldn't even be at 1%. It wouldn't be a 1% of people who are wealthy, because there's a difference between wealth and rich. Generational wealth lasts generations. That's my lifetime, another lifetime, another lifetime, another life. That's 5 generations from me. This money's going to last. Like, this money's not going away unless we squander it by doing something we should not be doing. That's generational wealth. Being rich is having a certain set of money, or a certain amount of money, and some people just feel like they got it and they're blowing it. You know who does that a lot? A lot of people who are these young athletes. Let's tap into that. These athletes get this money, and they're blessed with the talents that they have, and they're getting these things, and they're doing these things, and they have that contract. And that's very deceptive when people see these contracts out there, because that is not the truth. They don't get that type of money. That's just the money that's on paper, because every team has a salary cap that they have to follow. What they're going to do is they're going to get a lot less than that, and they have to live off of that after the season. See, an athlete only gets paid during the season. They don't get paid on the off season. They don't. So they have to live off that money. That's why endorsements are so important to them. And if they don't do what they're supposed to do, they won't get those endorsements, right? Think about someone that works in a research lab, right? Someone who works in a research lab, or someone that's working on this late breaking thing, or someone that wants to do something that's going to advance some type of technology or something. They have to write a proposal to get this grant money or research money. And if they're granted with that, they have to show and prove why they are deserving of that money. And if they don't have any results from that, they will lose either that grant or the opportunity to either further advance what they're trying to look after, or what they can get more in that particular thing. When people are raising money for things like that, and they're looking for things, and you could think about it, it could be cancer research or stem cell research or any type of thing that they're trying to do. That's what I mean. That's what it comes out of. Because if it doesn't happen, if it doesn't turn around, and it's not like that, they lose it. They lose it. A lot of people see these shows and it says these abandoned homes, and it's abandoned this from this singer, this athlete, all this stuff. Most of that stuff's not abandoned, so you got to be careful what you see on TV. Most of that stuff, those people have already sold it to get it from up under them, and now it's just sitting there because nobody wants to buy it, because the value that someone else placed on that place, someone else with the money to buy it, they don't have the same value. Value and core measures are very important, but not everybody has that. If I grew up in a house where money was scarce, and as soon as I get that money, I'm going to blow it the first thing I see it, the first time I see it, right? That happened to a lot of singers and musicians long time ago in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. That happened to them because of contracts, because of other things, because they grew up in meager beginnings. A lot of athletes that grew up now, or even in my generation, they have money. Some of them been able to maintain their money. Some people have lost their money because they have grown up in these meager conditions. Those who grow up where money is not valued, or money is not the top priority to sustain your life, they live differently. And people who live differently, they see a different part of life. They have a different part of life where money isn't everything that drives them. It doesn't drive them to try to get a certain type of job. And we're about to talk about that right now. We all know there's people at some jobs that like to get some jobs and some titles based on what it pays. What it pays. You ever interviewed someone? If you are an interviewer, you ever interview for a job and someone tells you how much they make, and you're calculating in your mind, oh, I can see if I can make this work. And then when you get there, you say, I ain't getting paid enough for the work that I'm doing because y'all got me doing all this other stuff, and I shouldn't be doing this because I don't get paid to do that. Fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. Here's another fact. Some people that have some of these titles and they're getting some of that money shouldn't be getting that money. That money should be dispersed to other people because it's other people under them that are actually doing the work, but the people on top are getting the credit. And that is very disparaging for a lot of other people. Now, the only thing that's going to that's the only difference that's between you and them is they may have some letters and some titles behind their name, basically a degree. And that's the only time when it would matter. It wouldn't particularly matter in a certain line of work or a certain field that you're working in if you have a certain or a particular degree. But if you're working in some of these health fields or these career fields and you don't have a certain accreditation or a certain level of education or a certain degree, that money is going to be scarce. It's not even going to touch you. You're going to get bottom of the barrel. And at the bottom of the barrel, when it's like that, that's when the crabs in the bucket come out. And that's a shame because a lot of people will see that and they will want to do certain things and not be that. I mean, you know one other job that is hard like that? Teachers. Some teachers are the best teachers in the world. Some teachers can grab, cultivate, and do things for some students, and they are excellent at what they do. Now, they don't get as much credit. They don't get as much accolades. They don't get as much money as they should. And it costs a lot to be a teacher. It costs a lot. And it's a lot of time, effort, and energy that it takes to get that. But what happens when you have someone that skyrockets above you that hasn't had the same type of things that you had to endure, and they seem like they're getting more money than you, and it puts you in a spot where you feel like you're not welcome and you're not valued? What do you do then? You seek to go elsewhere. And then sometimes in seeking to go elsewhere, you may be happier taking less than where you were before or where you are currently right now because you have a peace of mind. Sometimes when you get a lot of money, it comes with a lot of other things. And sometimes there are certain demands and certain pressures that are placed on you that sometimes you don't even know that's coming to you. And you don't know the ulterior motive behind that because that wasn't something that you were looking forward to. So sometimes when we're looking to get these promotions, and sometimes when we're looking to advance, sometimes there's always a negative side or a con to the pro or the positive of where we're going. Now, when we get there and we see that that's something that we want and something that we want to achieve and we want to attain, then what it makes us want to do is strive for more. We want more because it is like a euphoric feeling for us. The more money we get, the more money we want to grab, the more we want to keep going. And that takes a lot of time, effort, and energy to put into what we're currently doing at this particular time to get that. If you're someone who has no time, no effort, no energy, and you get a certain amount of money, you're satisfied with what you get. And you may be complacent with what you're doing because I don't have the opportunities that I need to get because other people have those opportunities and I feel like they're getting ahead and I'm not, which isn't true. The reason why they are is because the time, effort, and energy they're putting into what they're doing. They also may be able to listen better than you are, too. Because, see, sometimes we need to check ourselves when it comes to this money thing. And some of us really need to be realistic. How much can we really live off of, and how much do we need to get to be able to live off of and be happy? How much money? Long time ago when I was younger, I would hear people say, well, if I had $1 million, I'd be set for life. Not true. Not even in. You can't put a dollar value on happiness. You also can't put a dollar amount on you having peace because all that's going to happen is you're going to run into more things because it's going to be right there. We all know people that play the lottery and play those scratch offs and do everything. They spend all that money to. If I win this lottery, we all going to do this. Okay, but I'm not waiting on that. You know why I ain't waiting on that? Because I don't know what's going to come on the negative end of that. Some people sell their soul to get what they got. I don't want no part of that because I don't want to be linked to whatever you did to get it. Leave me out of it. Let me do what I got to do. And some people feel like that. And some people was like, yeah, when you get it, yeah, we're going to be taken care of. We going to be taken care of. No, that person's going to get the money, but you don't know what it took for them to get that money. So you got to be careful of how and what they did to get it. There's a lot of people that scam. And there's a lot of people that rob. See, I don't know what's going on with this generation right now that feel like they just need to go get it the best way they can. And that's with no effort. They spend more time and more effort and more energy in getting it the wrong way because no one has shown them. There's no one out there to show them how to get the money in the right way. There's a lot of people who are losing their lives. There's a lot of people who've been put away, quote unquote, for doing something that they should not be doing because no one took the time or no one is able to teach them or have the time to teach them what they should be doing. Because I grew up in this area and I grew up in this background and I have this going on for me and my stomach is growling. I don't want that. And I see my friend with a pair of Jordans and now I can't buy them, so I'm finna get them. Or I see this person going to the bank. I see this person with a car and I see this. I see. What I need to see is myself. I need to look at myself and decide myself. This can't happen because I determine where I go. Sometimes I have to make the opportunities myself, starting with my mindset. Sometimes I have to be able to put the time, effort, and energy and not wait for someone else to do it for me. Sometimes I need to be willing to go out there and find what it is that's going to help me get to that other place, to get that money, to see where I need to be, to have the things that I want to have. And there's a better euphoric feeling that I'll have that I can live like this. I can have these things. I know some people that's living in an apartment that's having a great life. You know why? Because they're able to do what they want to do. I know some people that are living in homes that can't even do nothing. They're barely getting by. This is what we call house poor because they're just living to pay the mortgage so that the house don't get taken away from them. Because if it does, then they're going to feel embarrassed by where they are. Because in their mind, I put everything into this, and it stops right here. But it's not just getting it. It's how you maintain that. It's not just getting a car, but it's how you maintain it. It's not how you get that job. How do you maintain it? It's my time, effort, and energy. Everything that I put into my time, effort, and energy will equate to money. And it's not just something I can hold. It's not a tangible thing. It's my life. Money is my life. It's everything. That's the basis. My life equates to money. My life will equate to what I do with it. It will equate to how I use it. It will equate to how I value it. It will equate to how much I spend, how much I get, and what it takes for me to get it, keep it, sustain it, so that it will grow for me and it will help me take care of what I need to take care of. Because if I can't take care of the things I need to take care of, everything that I work so hard for will go away. And the people that are around you, then we need to be careful of these people that I'm going to speak about right now. The people that are around us that just see these things and want it, that are jealous. And you may not know they're jealous, but they're going to do some things and you're going to wonder why they did that. I'm going to tell you why they did that. Because they saw you at a certain spot and they always wanted to be where you were and to have the things that you have. And they duped you into thinking that they were on your side just to get by you so you could pay for everything. If you're the payer in everything, you need to stop. Sometimes it's okay to say no. Sometimes when that time comes, you need to be like, I ain't got it. I got to take care of what I got to take care of and not feel bad about it. Because if you have people that see these things, especially people who are just lounging up on social media, seeing how people live and, oh, I went on this vacation, I went on this and I did this and everything. Oh, you got it like that. You got this type of car. You live in this house. You got this neighborhood. You got this. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. It's a brand that has no value. We push the brands. If we take the money that we earn and we put it into something else, Some of these brands would not last. Some of these brands wouldn't even exist. They will fold, crumble, and crash. They will fold, crumble, and crash. And the reason why they will fold, crumble, and crash is because they don't have anything to sustain it. Some people want these luxury brands. And these luxury brands may seem great, they may be great. But some of these luxury brands are not better than some of the regular brands that are out there. It's what you put value into. It's what you see as value. Most rich people that are very rich, they don't wear rich clothes. They wear every ordinary clothes. They wear clothes from Target and Walmart. They go to TJ Maxx in Burlington. They wear regular clothes. It's some folks that feel like, yeah, I got it like that because I want to feel good about myself because the money that's right here, I want to make it seem like I got it. I got it. And what that means is, that means that I need to make sure that I have what I have to keep this thing going. And if I keep this thing going, then maybe it will seem like I'm more than what I am because I have to feel good about myself. That's why money equates to myself. Money equates to my life because it's going to take my time, effort, and energy to get to where I want to be. But if you don't value yourself in regards to money, you're going to lose yourself in trying to attain it, in trying to find something, in trying to be something that you shouldn't be, or be in a place that you shouldn't be, because deep down inside, it's going to crush you. It will make you crumble. Some of us know that we have people that are out there that depend on us because they don't have it like that. It's not our job to make them feel bad about that. It's not our job to make them feel less than because we have more, an abundance, more. Well, they will assume abundance more than they have. We just had different opportunities to get it. And when we had that opportunity, what do? We spent time, we developed energy, and we took a lot of effort to get to where we are. And if we didn't do it, what will happen is we wouldn't be where we are. Now, some of us can do that. Some of us can't do that. Some of us haven't learned to do that because deep down inside our soul, we haven't learned to be that type of person because we truly haven't developed yet. How many rich people do you know out there are quote unquote as giving, or people that are middle class or quote unquote as giving? Or sometimes that they will see something and they'll say, oh, well, I'll see what I can do. Well, I know what you're going to do. I already know what you're going to do. You ain't going to do as much as you think. But the people that have less give more because sometimes they have that giving spirit because they know deep down they're going to get it because the money will equate to their life, like I said. Be careful with the opportunities that you have. Also, utilize the time, effort, and energy that you have to attain money. Because when you get that money, it's going to be telling of how you're going to live your life. Because you can have $1 million and be a crappy person. And you can have $10 and be the best person in the world. And give somebody those last $10 and then get a blessing from the end. Country Wayne just used it. He just had that on one of his shows. Somebody interviewed him. He said that. He gave somebody $1,600, and next thing you know, he looked in his bank account the next couple of days, and he had an abundance of money. He had blind faith. His energy was different. He just gave, right? And that's just some examples that some people have. If I give, I know it's going to come back. Why? Because I'm not worried about this. Because I don't base my life based on what people think I have or what people see or how I live. Some people that have these jobs that are out there, and they know they're good paying jobs, and someone will say, and I've had somebody say this to me, oh, I know you got money. You don't need to know what I have. I will never tell you what I have. The reason why I'll never tell you what I have is it's none of your business. It's none of your business. That's me protecting myself. And I'm going to protect myself. And the reason why I'm going to protect myself is this has to last, not just for me, but the people in my village. Just like other people that are out there. The money has to last for them and their village. No one understands this more than single mothers. No one. No one understands that concept more than single mothers or fathers that are great providers. No one. But those single mothers know that. Money equates to that. Money equates to time, effort, and energy. Sometimes I don't have enough time to get enough energy to have the effort to get this money. All these things are intertwined. But some people don't believe that. Some people believe that if I get this money, everything's going to be the way that it is, or I'm going to be better than where I am. But some people don't understand that if I get the money, which is me, I'm going to I'm going to develop better because that money's going to come no matter what. You work a job, no matter what type of job you work, you put that time, effort, and energy in, you're going to get money from that. But with that opportunity, what are you doing? Are you going to network and get a different job? Are you going to network and find a different way to do what you're doing? Are you going to be an inventor and find a different way? Are you going to be in a research lab and find creative ways so that you can have this money or this research money or this grant money being given back to the school or everything like that? See, there's an undue pressure that people feel because they want to get this money. And that's why money and everything that comes with it is very important. And sometimes it destroys people and who they are. I was watching YouTube earlier today. And YouTube, I was watching these little things. It was talking about a couple of musicians. And it was funny. One of the groups they talked about Jodeci. The other group they talked about was Bobby Womack. And the other one was Johnny Taylor. And you find out that folks have so much, and when they pass away, they leave next to nothing. They have next to nothing, and they leave it for other people to break up and do that. Don't you know it takes time, effort, and energy to get that situated in court? It does. Because some people think that, I see you got that. I'm going to say it again. What you see is not a reality. You don't know what it took for somebody to live in the house that they're living in. For those who bust their tail and they got it the way that they're supposed to get it, and they got it in a true and honest way, you can't tell them anything. What they say, I'm finna go enjoy the fruits of my labor. What that means, I'm finna go stay where I am. I ain't got to go be seen. I'm going to be where I need to be. I don't need to be out there in the streets. I don't need to do that. But we know there's people out there that's looking for the next bait that they can try to get on the hook. They're going to use bait to put on their hook so they can catch the next fish or the next mark or someone else, because they know they need to use someone else's money to make them happy. You shouldn't have to use someone else's money to make you happy. That means you're trying to live how someone else is living, and that might not be for you. That's not for you. Your path, your lane is comfortable because you have to stay in your path and your lane. That's why. If your path and your lane is not comfortable, you're not going to be happy with yourself. And yourself is the money. You are the money. What time, effort, and energy are you putting into you to get it? Be the money you desire to be. Be the money you desire to achieve. Be the money you desire to attain. But most importantly, be the money you want to maintain and sustain because you know why it's important. I am money. You are money. We all are money. It's something that's very tangible. It's not just a note, because our monetary system can go away because it's changed over time. Because a long time ago, there were no dollar bills. There were coins, if you want to think about it that way. But I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about you being the money. It's money and everything that comes with it. So people, please protect your money. Protect your money. Invest wisely. Do the things that you need to do with your money. Because at the end of the day, if that money's lost, sometimes it's hard to get back what it was gone. That's going to be the show for today. Join me for another show very soon. The next show is going to be on friends. Friends. Thank you for joining me. And as always, be good to yourself and be good to others. Peace.